Each participant from the states and UTs who have joined this SRG training of CIT and CERT. So as ma'am has already mentioned that the topic of today's discussion is graphic resources, and we will also definitely do a hands-on on how we can create graphic resources with the help of various ICT tools. So since the beginning of this workshops, I hope and this has been reported to me also that an orientation has already been given to you what about the graphic resources and the type of e-content. So infographics is also a type of e-content which you can create with the help of many free ICT tools. Free ICT tools means the tools which are open source and which does not cost you anything, and you can use it. You can use it for the creation of graphic resources and use those graphic resources in your teaching learning processes. So today we will have a discussion on that, and we will have a demo also, and we will definitely do the hands-on. And I expect from you all to get ready with your laptops or with your devices so that we can do the hands-on in a collaborative manner. So let's start with my PPT. Just give me 1 second. Yes,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
PPT.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for the confirmation. So we all are teachers here in this discussion and in this session, and we all very well know what are the graphics and what is the meaning of infographics. Many of you must have created the infographics for you or for your classroom also. So if we say, if we talk about the graphics, then graphic is an image or any visual representation of any object that combines text and illustration with colors. So we, as a teacher of social science, must have used charts in our classroom, and we maybe taught our students how to read the charts, because charts are of different varieties, and different charts have different characteristics. Maps are of different varieties, so you must have taught your students as a social science teachers that how charts and maps can be read. And it is very necessary for us also to understand how maps works. If we are going to any unknown location, then it is very mandatory to see the map and to understand the map. So how can we understand the map? There you must have seen the symbols of location given in the maps, and with the help of that location symbol you can identify the exact location and the name of the roads through which you have to go to the desired location. So it is a kind of infographic. It is an example of infographic how maps can works. Also, there is an example of diagrams. The diagrams can be used in each and every subject. It is not specifically for science. It can be used in the social sciences. It can be used in languages also. And diagrams are a very good example of teaching any concept to the students. Photographs is another kind of graphics. So if you want to understand your audience about any unknown concept or any unknown creature or any unknown object, then you can show the photographs to your audience, and you can explain them. But here we are talking about only the graphics. It is not about the infographics. So these are the examples of graphics which you can use in your classroom, but you have to explain them verbally. Image is also a good example of graphics. You can show we or as a teacher we use all these types of graphics in our lesson plan as a teaching aid. This can be the teaching aid also in teaching any particular subject. So we can use image also as a teaching aid. We can use the drawings, we can use the paintings, and there may be other examples of graphics which we normally use in our teaching learning process, and we can add them as a teaching aid in our lesson plans. So, what is the importance of graphics? Obviously, they enhance memory. if we going to teach anything, any concept to our students with the help of graphics, with the help of pictures, it will be retain in their memory for longer time. Then user can extract information on a subject. Obviously, if you start a discussion by showing an image to your classroom of any object, and you just start the discussion that what is this image all about, then it can be a discussion starter, and the students can extract the information from that image, from that source of graphics, and they can give you their inputs. The graphics can also enhance the conceptual development in a very exciting manner. And if you also want to explain any complex information, any complex phenomena to the students, then also you can start a discussion with the help of graphics, with the help of pictures, and with the help of other teaching aids. So here I have added one infographic. This is not a graphic, but it is a graphic created by our team, the team of Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini, and this infographic explains the Big Bang Theory. If you look closely on this picture, this is not a picture, it contains graphics including the information. And by having a single look at this picture, you can understand that this picture is going to explain the complicated Big Bang Theory in a very easy manner. So you can see there is a center point here where my cursor is this, and this the arrow will move according to the steps how this theory works. So we have many such beautiful examples from Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini. I'm going to explain, and I'm going to show all those infographics to you also, and I will share those the folder with you also, so that you can have a look on them. Yeah. Now, if we are talking about infographics, it is very much understandable from our discussions that infographics are the graphical visual representations of information, data, or knowledge. So if you want to explain any graphics with the help of information, and that information should be very short, very crisp, and very clear. So that information, if you want to add, or that piece of knowledge, if you want to add in that graphics, it is called infographics. Means that information with the help of graphics, or the graphics with the help of information. So there may be many or multiple educational uses of infographics, but I have mentioned few here in the slide. It can be used as a visual aids, it can be used as discussion starters, you can introduce a topic or give an overview of the lesson, and for visualizing a complex data also you can use the infographics in your classroom. For example, in social sciences, if you want to show the census data to your classroom for the in the class of 9, to the students of 9, you are going to show a huge number of data. You can do that with the help of infographics instead of showing the whole data in a form of I mean, if you just want to draw something, or if you want to write on the blackboard, it will be more complex, but you can show it in an easy manner with the help of infographic. So these are the few features of infographics, that they are a very well structured layout. So as I already have shown you one infographic from Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini, that you can just figure out from that infographic that it was very well structured. So if you want to create an infographic, if you want to develop an infographic on your own also, then it should be well structured. Well structured means that it should contain all the requisite information, whatever you want to share with your audience. The infographic should be appealing. Obviously, if it would not be appealing, then how it can catch a look of the audience. Then the infographic should be retentive also, that if the audience look at the particular infographic, it will remain in their memory for a long time. And there should be a very catchy tagline for a particular infographic. As you can see in the advertisements also, every advertisements have a tagline with their infographic, so that the audience or the customers could remember the product, the particular product with that particular tagline. So here I am sharing another infographic created by my content team, that is on flora, how a plant adapts. Just have a look on this. See the combination of colors, how they have chosen the colors. They are not very bright, they are not very sharp that can hurt your eyesight. The colors are very soothing, and also the selection of text color, it is also very appropriate, and you can see how they have explained the term flora and how a plant adapts. You can see on the left hand side, there are some terms written on the left hand side, and these terms explains the plant, which is the plant is of cactus. It is a cactus plant, and it has been explained how, what are the thorns, what are the what is the large fleshy stem, what is a thick waxy skin, and how student, if the purpose of creating this resource is that if the students looks at the flora and particularly the cactus plant, the students can easily identify that what are the parts of a cactus which looks like this. So here another an example of infographic which shows the timeline. So infographics can be created in the format of timeline also. Here you can see that the planets are mentioned here. We have shown the planets, and we have also shown here, we have also written here the placement of the planets. So which planet is close to sun, and which planet is the coldest planet, which planet is the biggest planet. The audience, or the audience can be anyone. It can be the adult audience, it can be the audience of in the form of your students also, and if you are delivering a lecture in some event, then also the participants can be an audience. So you have to choose. I think I was disconnected. So can you help me where I just got disconnected, or what I was saying that when I got disconnected? I'm sharing again my PPT. So we were discussing this thing. Am I right? We were here when I got disconnected. Yeah, timeline. Yeah, okay. So let's go to the next slide. So I was just discussing with you about the infographic tools with the help of which you can create the infographics. These tools are not only restricted to create the infographics, but they PPT I think share नहीं है ना? Share है. अच्छा हाँ ठीक है. So you can create other e-content also with the help of these tools. These are not only restricted to create the infographics. Like for example, Canva, through Canva, you can create infographics, you can create videos, you can create short reels also. You can create social media posts, you can have the whiteboard also, and you can create the articles for the newspapers also. It has a lot of features. Similarly, easily also another tool through which you can create infographics, but as the time changes and the time passes, Earlier these tools were totally free, but few features have gone now commercial, and if you want to use those features, then you have to go pay. But we can still use these ICT tools for to creating the infographics. So Venngage is another ICT tool. PictoChart, through PictoChart you can create infographics. So WiseMe, Infogram, Visualize.me. These are the few. So this is the homepage of Canva. I hope you all are familiar with Canva. You can just write your responses in the chat box. I hope I am audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are completely audible.
Thank you. Okay. So most of you have used Canva. It is a very user-friendly platform. Recently, AI has been integrated in most of the ICT tools and in Canva also. So if you want to use AI for creating any e-content, then you can use that also. But you can create the e-content without using the AI tools. Okay, so all of you have used Canva. That's good. I'm just looking at your chats. This is the homepage of Canva, so I'm not going to the Canva itself. I'm just sharing the information regarding Canva by showing you the screenshot, because most of you are familiar with with Canva. Yes, whatever tool you are using for creating any e-content, not only infographic, you have to log into that particular ICT tool. And after logging in, you can be able to use most of the features of that ICT tool. So it is suggested, uh, whatever tool you are using, just log in with your Gmail account and use the maximum features of that ICT tools. So this is the homepage of Canva, and the features of Canva are that you can create documents, you can have the whiteboards on that, you can prepare the presentations, you can prepare the social media posts, videos, print products, and even you can create the small websites also with the help of Canva. But we all use Google. Every time we have to search anything, we go to Google and ask. Now AI is there, I know, but we must have all worked in the Google workspace also, and we as a teacher time to time have to prepare presentations for the meetings, for the classrooms, for our teaching learning. So if you want to create the presentations, you can easily create the presentations with the help of Google Slides also. Google Slides provides you a number of features through which you can create presentations. Normally, we use the Microsoft PowerPoint presentations, and now because AI is in our hands and it is very easy to use, so people prefer AI to use presentations. But as a teacher, AI is a good thing to use, but as a teacher, we all should be equipped ourselves. We all should enhance our abilities to use the digital tools also, other than AI. So Google Sites also is a good platform where you can prepare your presentations. I will give you a demo also of using this. Again, if you want to use Google Slides, you have to have a Gmail account through which you can log in and use the this Google Slide option. And in this Google Slide, you can also do the page setup. You can set the dimensions of your slide, whether you want in landscape manner, whether you want in just a vertical manner, or whatever could be the size you can choose with the help of page setup. Then also Google gives you a liberty of inserting images, audios, videos, shapes, tables, and charts. And there are other options also. So you can use all these features for creating a good PPT. And And in that PPT, you can create, you can insert the infographic. So all these options which I am showing you, the images, the text box, the tables, the diagrams, and the word art also is there. With the help of all these features, you can create a good infographic which you can add further in your presentations. Yes, so here is this screenshot is about inserting the diagrams. So there is another, we have just discussed Google Slides. So through Google Slides, you can create infographics. There is another website which is free to use, which is Slides Go. And in Slides Go, you can get a number of templates, already created templates, which you can use for creating infographics. There are infographics which are already available there. You can use them, and also you can create your own e-content. So let's go to the Slides Go. Just let me know how many of you have used Google Slides and Slides Go. Just write your responses in the chat box. Okay. Yes. So for going to this website, simply you have to write in, you can write in the Google Chrome Slides Go, and the very first link which comes after searching, you can click on that. So I have already pasted the link here. Just click on that link and we'll go to the website. This is the website of Slides Go. I hope it is visible to you all. Again, you have to log into this website to take the benefit of this slide, and to access all the templates which are already available here. It is advisable to log in with your Gmail accounts. As I scroll down, you can see there are already a number of templates given here. So these are the trending searches related to Disney, the best slides, the minimalistic design templates. These are the slides back to school. Then you can see this is the timeline infographic. The multi-purpose slides also are there. And as we scroll down, you can see other already available templates. So whatever suits you, you can download these templates and you can use those templates in your presentations or in your teaching learning process, wherever you want to use this infographics. But if you want to create your own template, then the first option is of AI tool, but we are not going to AI tools. We are going to create our own template. If you click on template, you can see the categorization. It is by industry, by style, by color. And there is another drop down menu of Education Hub. Here again, you can see the subject wise categories and the level wise categories, the school level wise category. You can choose any of them to create the infographics. So let's see the example. I am taking the subject of psychology. Or you can see whenever when you will do the hands-on, you can choose a subject of your choice or the subject which you are teaching in your school. Just click on the psychology and you can see the number of templates which are already available there related to the subject of psychology. So I'm scrolling it down very slowly. Now you can see here on the templates a symbol like crown. Is it visible to you? It means that this slide is paid. If you want to download this slide, you have to pay a particular amount. So we are discussing the ICT tools which are free and open source. So we won't suggest you to download this slide, but there are many slides, also many templates which are free to use. So the psychology thesis, this template, you can see there is no such sign, no such symbol on this slide. It means that this slide or this template is free to use. So if you want to create or if you want to develop any content related to this topic, then you can download this template with the help of this download option. Then there are other slides also. This slide is also free, and you can see there are three symbols. The first one is of like. You can even just like the slides and leave it. So whenever you log in next time, you can see all the slides which you already liked. So you can leave it like that also. After just clicking on the like button, you can download it and you can also customize online. So if you want to customize, if you want to change, or if you want to modify this particular template, you just can open it and see it is opening in the online editor, and you can customize it as per your need online. So I have just opened this template, and you can see that it has been opened in the editing mode, and in the editing mode we are seeing many options given on the left hand side. The first option is of template, second one is of text. Just see my cursor as it is moving. This is the option of text. If you want to change the text of this slide, just you can click on it, just delete the text and write here by first. I have just taken this title, but you can take the title related to the topic you are going to teach, or related to the chapter. It could be the chapter name also. The title could be anything which you are going to teach in your class. So you can modify it like in this manner. And again, yes, this is the text option. It is very similar to Canva. If you have already used Canva, then you can find out that the text option works like it works in Canva mode, Canva software. There are elements also. Elements are the additional shapes and figures and lines and arrows, stickers which you want to insert in your presentation. So you can take the elements of your choice, and if you are not getting any element which you need, or which is required here for this particular slide, you can even search it. So like if I want to add a figure of brain, because I am preparing a slide of psychology and I am going to teach how the neurons work. So I've just written the keyword here brain, and yeah, you can see there are many figures, many icons of brains appears here. So you can just select the icon of your choice and insert it in your slide. So that the dashboard here, you can see it works like it works in the same manner in Canva also. You can also add pictures to your slide. Here are already given some pictures, or already given photographs here, as you can see. And if you want to search a particular photograph, you can just write here whatever you want to search. Again, I am writing with brain. Now you can see the photos of brain appears here, and you can take the picture as per your requirement. Again, this symbol is here, and it shows that this you cannot use this for free. So just go for the free picture, whatever you want to add. Then there is another option of upload also. If you don't want any picture, if you don't want any element which is already given in this tool, and you want to add you want to upload the picture of your choice, or if you have already downloaded a picture which is relevant to your topic on which you are going to prepare this PPT, then you can upload that particular picture from the system also. Just click on the upload, and it is a very usual manner how you upload the media to your um, uh, e-content or any other creation. So just upload the media, click on it. It will ask you the location. Just select the location, and for example, I'm going to pictures, and I just want to add this. It is a screenshot, general in screenshot. In this manner, you can just add the picture to your PPT. So this is how we can customize our slides, our e-content, or the infographics we are creating with the help of SlidesGo. Yes, so we were here, and if you want to download an already created slide, then just simply click on the download option. Like here, a slide is given, the psychology of decision making, and here you can see the option of download. Click on it, and it will start downloading. And again, it will ask you how you want to download it. Download it, open it Google Slide, download as a PowerPoint file, download it and open in Canva. And this is asking you because if you want to edit the slide more, then you can open it in Canva. Otherwise, you can download it in a simple PowerPoint file also, and you can download in Google Slide also. So let's check how it works if we download it in the PowerPoint file. So it has been downloaded, or just check the download button. It is getting open. So can you see? It has been downloaded in a normal PowerPoint presentation. And in total, it has 56 slides. So you can also edit now, as you have seen that we have downloaded this template in a normal PowerPoint presentation, and now you have all the freedom to edit this presentation according to your need. So these are the few methods how you can use this website SlidesGo. So I have added a link of an e-content which I have found very interesting on the SlidesGo. I'm going to show with you. This is the animal life cycle. And these are the slides, the total number of slides you can see here. I'm scrolling it for you. So I hope you can see the slides moving. Okay, so this is a very interesting example I found on SlidesGo, and there are some more examples. You can open these links whenever the team will share the PPT with you. So yes, these are the infographics which our content team has already created, and these infographics belongs to various subjects, to languages, to social sciences, to mathematics. I'm going to click on this link, and I'm going to show the beautiful infographics created by Sri Satya Sai Vidya Vahini team, and the team is my team. Yes. So this is infographic on Bloom's taxonomy. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
You can see the infographic on Bloom's taxonomy. If the screen is appearing smaller to you, then please tell me. I will open this in the doc form. Is it visible? Okay. So yes, as a teacher, we all are very much familiar with this taxonomy, and we all know as a people teacher, when we learn this Bloom's taxonomy, it is very difficult to learn what is Bloom's taxonomy, what are the steps on of these taxonomy, and how these categories, that is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating, how these categories have further classifications. So as a people teacher, we faced a little difficulty, and also already now we are very much familiar of this taxonomy. But if we are going to teach the same taxonomy, because it is a very important part of teacher training. So every student, every people teacher have to learn it by heart, the Bloom's taxonomy. And if we are going to transfer this knowledge to our student, and if we are going to teach the same thing to the other teachers, then how we can teach them, or how we can share this information in a very easy manner. So obviously we have to create the infographics, and in this infographic you can see how the questions are formed with the help of Bloom's taxonomy, because each category of these, each level of Bloom's taxonomy has the verbs, particular action verbs, and those action verbs we have to use as a teacher in developing or in writing the specific objectives of the lesson plans. And obviously when we are just developing the question papers also, we have to use those action verbs as the objectives of the test. So you can see how the Bloom's taxonomy has been used here in creating the questions. And these questions are short questions. You can see, and short and very simple questions like which of these plants has a weak stem. So it is a very simple question, and the objectives are also given here on the right hand side. The child is able to explain the relation between concepts learned. The second objective is when the child understand, he or she can classify, describe, explain, compare, summarize. And we all are very familiar as a teacher that these words, as describe, classify, explain, compare, summarize, these are the action verbs of Bloom's taxonomy. So here you can see in a very easy manner, in a very simple manner, it has been explained with the help of infographic how questions can be developed with the particular objectives. So now let's go to the next infographic, which is on effective communication. Yes, effective communication involves complete cycle. So as a linguistic teacher, as you are as a language teacher, we know that there are four skills. The first skill is listening skill, writing skill, and reading, writing, listening. LSRW, LSRW. There are four skills. So the communication is also a very important skill in languages, and how a good communication can be done among the groups, and what it takes to what are the factors of a good communication. It can you can just see here in this infographic that what are the effective communication involves a complete cycle. So It can motivate students, and the first one is listen and understand each other. The very first rule of having a good communication is that you have to listen and understand each other, as you all are doing very nicely, listening and understanding. We are having a good communication also. The second one is influence behavior and thinking. Respond with purpose can motivate students. So in infographics, and in a very simple and clear manner, it has been explained that what is a impact of good communication. Then there is a next slide of the same infographic, that how effective communication supports teachers. Then there are barriers of effective communications given, basics of communication given, types of communication in schools, hearing versus listening, the communication process, qualities of a good communicator, how to know that you have communicated effectively. So you can see in this 5 to 6 slides, a big topic of communication has been covered, and in a very crisp and interesting manner. You can see the slides are very catchy, the slides are very soothing, and they have maximum information in the minimal words. So this is the characteristics which we have discussed earlier, that the infographic should be like that the user, if the user can see that particular infographic, he or she can understand the whole concept in a easy manner. So there are other infographics also which has been developed by our team. I am going to show you an example of mathematics. This is the graphical presentation, and the topic is key to proving theorems. So I hope the screen is not too small. Can you see it, or should I increase the percentage? Yeah, of the screen. Now I hope it is visible. So this is a graphical presentation, and with the help of this presentation, it has been shown the key to proving theorems. So the step 1 is read the theorem statement at least 2 times. Then again, it has been divided into 2 parts, which shows the identify. The second step is what is given, known, what is proved. The step 3 is given there. The step 4, step 5, step 6. And in these 6 easy steps, it has been explained then how to prove a theorem. Because the theorems are a very complex part of science subjects and mathematics subjects, and as a student, and when I was a student, I found it very difficult to prove the theorem, honestly. So maybe we didn't get the good teachers like you in our childhood, but in this infographic, it has been explained that how teacher can help students to prove the theorems. So there are other examples also. It is a topic of social science, and in this infographic, just see the how the information has been shared. In this small infographic, it has been shown the 4 methods of irrigation, that is field, furrow, sprinkler, and drip. These are the terms which a student, when they came to know about these terms, it is very difficult to understand what is furrow, what is, because we cannot conceptualize as a student what is this term means. Obviously the teacher explains the meaning of these terms, but we cannot conceptualize what is a furrow and how the sprinklers works and what is the concept of drip. But with the help of infographics, we can show them what are these processes, what are these 4 methods of irrigation. Then here again, the food pyramid has been shown in this infographic. You can see it is an infographic which is showing the food pyramid, and all the foods are the healthy foods. So the rice and rotis, how much one should take, how a serving should one take. It has also been mentioned here in this infographic. Then there is another infographic of religions, and this I have already shown to you, the Big Bang Theory, the scientific method. You can just have a look on it, how it has been developed. Then here is small video of how the properties of magnets, attraction and repulsions. Just let's see how it moves on. Volume है.
Ma'am, please reshare.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Scroll down. Hmm. So you can see in this video about the magnets, property of magnets, attraction and repulsion. It is a chapter also in the sciences and schools. And Yeah, so this is a very interesting video which I have just shown you about the magnets. So the purpose of showing you all these infographics are just to give you an idea how you can create the e-content in the form of infographics, and those infographics can further be added or further can be modified in the form of a video also. You can also create a video by collecting all your infographics. Here are some other tools with the help of which you can create infographics, or you can create the diagrams, you can create the flow charts, because flow chart is also an example of graphics, and you can, when you add information to that flow chart, it becomes the infographics. So there is one free tool. It is totally free. You can just download it. It is in the form of application, also in the form of mobile application. You just say you can use this Draw IoT tool. Just say you have to search for Draw.io in your Google Chrome, and there are Google Drawings also, and with the help of Google Sites also. Yeah, but Google Sites is not relevant for infographics, but I just mentioned here, if you want to create a small website for your students, you can just take help of Google Sites. So let's explore Draw.io. It is a free ICT tools through which you can create the flowchart. And also you have already there are already available flow charts also, which you can avail from this website. So it is asking, whenever you just click on this link, or you can search for Draw.io, you can it asks for you to start or to download. So if you want to download this application, if you want to download the setup of this software, you can just click on the download option. And if you don't want to download, or you simply want to draw flow chart, you can just click on the start button after giving the instructions, because we all know that if we are going to create a flow chart, the flow chart works with the help of instructions. You have to give the instructions. Simply, I am just giving you an example here, like I want to develop a flow chart of tea making, because we just have completed the tea break, and we are going moving forward to the lunch break. So let's know how for those, it is for those who don't know how to make the tea. Just create a flow chart. I'm writing the instruction here. It is simple instruction, and it is for the demo purpose only. You can give the instructions as per your subject, as per your topic you are going to teach in your class, or for which you are going to create the infographic. So I have written a simple instruction here: create a flow chart of how to make a tea, and just click on the generate button. Now let's wait for the diagram or the flow chart, how it will create it. Just see the results. I have given a simple instruction of making a tea, and see this software, this tool has provided you a flow chart of how to make a tea. Simple start with boiling water. Then the next step is choose the tea type, whatever tea you want to have, whether you want to have the black tea, whether you want to have a herbal tea, or whether you want to have a green tea. If you want to have a black tea, add a tea bag or loose leaf. See the instruction, this flow chart is giving you the instruction. It is very clear. The instructions are very clear given by this flow chart. And if you want to have a herbal tea, you just add a herbal tea bag or a loose leaf. If you want to have a green tea, just add green tea bag or loose leaf. So these are the three options of having tea. Again, the next step is steep for 3 to 5 minutes. So if you are having your choice, if you have just selected whatever tea you want to have, then you have to steep it for 3 to 5 minutes, and then Remove the tea bag or leaf, and let's see what is there downwards. Yes. Remove the tea bag or leaves, then add sweetener or milk. See, the question mark is given here. Uh, it means it is your choice whether you want to add the sweetener or the milk. If yes, then add sugar and honey or milk. If no, then proceed to serve. See how clear the instructions are. Then after serving, sip and enjoy and end. So this is how you can create the flow chart of your choice with the help of Draw.io. It is a diagram creating software because flowchart is an example of diagram. And if you want to create a diagram of your own choice, you can use the this picture tools here given here on the left hand side. With the help of these drawing options, you can create your own flowchart. Now, whatever diagram we have just created with the help of this platform, it is still untitled. You can rename this diagram. And you can also save it in a particular format. The options are given here. You can share it. The by default extension is Draw.io, but if you want to save it in the PNG format, then you can select it. The PNG format, you can also save it in the SVG format also, and you can also save it as a HTML file. So it is totally depends on your choice in which format you want to save and you want to further use it. Because we save in different format, and if you are going to save, going to open the same file in another environment, then the compatibility issue will occur. So we have to take care of saving the file, how in which format we want to save, and we are going to save this file. So just I'm taking this by default option, Draw.io, and see the file has been renamed. There are other options also on the right hand side. You can see you can change the style of your diagram. You can see the lots of option under this diagram menu. You can there is an option of grid, there is a page view option, background, connection arrows, etc. So you can modify it, or you can customize it as per your need. But before going to the concept mapping tool, I just want to show you how Google Slide works. So I just want to ask you, shall I go ahead with the concept mapping, or you want to see how Google Drive or Google Slides works? Yes, we can draw mind maps also with the help of this Draw.io tool. ठीक है, concept mapping will start. ठीक, okay. Thank you. So as a teacher, we many times face a difficulty of explaining a abstract concept to our students. And whenever there is an abstract concept, whether it is in languages, whether it is in science, mathematics, or any other subject, the mind maps helps us a lot. We as a teacher have to use mind maps for explaining any abstract concept to our class. So I hope you all know what are mind maps, what are concept maps, and how we can use it. So can you please share your inputs in the chat box? What are mind maps? What are concept maps? And what is the purpose of creating this mind maps and concept maps? The slide is blank because I'm just discussing it with you. Just write in the chat box. Do we need to? No, slides go to simple. It is online. Slides go is online. You don't have to download this, sir. Ma'am, sorry, Rashmi. Diagrammatic presentation of all aspects. This stuff you need to understand easily. Okay. Mind maps are hierarchical concept maps and connected to concepts. Very good. Okay. So it shows that you already have understanding of mind maps and concept maps. So obviously you are teachers and you must have used all the concept maps in your classroom also. So here the definition is given here, as you all know that a concept maps begin with a main idea and a branch out to show relationship between different ideas. So the basic thing is that whenever we are going to create any mind map or any concept map, we should have a main idea. We should have a central idea on which we are going to draw the concept map, on which we are going to expand our concept map or the mind map. So these are only the graphical representation of a topic, and these graphical representation has to break further in smaller sub concepts. So you should have a main idea, you should have a central idea, and you have to connect that main idea to the sub ideas with the help of relationship lines. And these relationship lines you can show in the form of arrows. So a good mind map is a comprehensive mind map. So the more you expand your ideas, the more explanatory and the more interesting and the more easily you are going to explain your main idea or the central idea. So these are the components of a concept map. The concept map should have a central idea. It should have the relationships, and these relationships can be shown in the form of arrows, in the form of lines, and these lines can be called and are called as the cross links. So I have shown here, I pasted here some types of mind maps. These are the example of mind map, how mind map can be shown, can be drawn, and how it looks like. So there are many types of concept maps. It can be in the form of spider maps. It can be in the form of flow charts. It can be the hierarchical maps, which can be used in an organizational structure. There can be system map. And here in this slide, I've just tried to show the difference between a concept map and a mind map. Yes, you can have a look on this slide. The difference between mind map and concept map. So what is the difference? Just write in the chat box. What is the main difference between mind map and concept map? Because normally we use these terms interchangeably. Mind map can have one central idea, but concept map can have more than one central idea, which can be further break down into many sub ideas. Here again, I have shown you a comprehensive concept map. You can see there are many concepts, many sub-concepts, which are further broken into sub-concepts. A concept and also the definition of concept map also has been given here on the left hand side, that concept map or conceptual diagram is a diagram that depicts suggested relationships between concepts. It is a graphical tool used to depict the relationship between multiple concepts. So concept maps can have multiple concepts, but a mind map can be drawn with only one concept. So it is the explanation of mind maps. We have just discussed it. So we are not going to repeat that. There are some online concept mapping tools, that is bubble.us, Poplet, MindMap, Creately, Coggle, Lucidchart, MindMeister, Mindomo, SpiderStripe. These are few, but there are a lot of concept mapping tools available online. But you should look for those tools only which are free to use. This in this slide, the use of concept mapping tool has been given, but you already know what is the use of concept mapping. So we are leaving this slide, and it is the comparison between the mind mapping tools. If you are going to choose a good mind mapping tool, so what are the things you have to take care about? So there are some tools like eDrawMind, like Mindomo, FreeMind, Mind Manager, Lucidchart, and these are the specifications that the particular tool has, which is related to platform, use, and the extension files. The bubble.us, MindMap, Coggle, XMind, MindGenius, Creately, etc. So today we are going to try another concept mapping tool, that is Visual Understanding Environment, and its short form is VIEW. So I'm just going to click on this link, but before clicking on the link, I'm going to I'm going to demonstrate you how you can download this tool into your system. And again, I just want to share one more thing with you, that View does not have the mobile application. There are many mind mapping tools which are having their mobile applications, like Mindomo has a mobile app, and FreeMind, I think it is also having mobile application, but Visual Understanding Environment, it does not have a mobile application. You have to explore it, you have to try it, you have to draw the mind maps with the help of View only on your desktop, on your laptop. So just simply open your Google Chrome. I hope you all are having your laptops. You have joined this session through the laptops. Click on a fresh window and open the Google Chrome browser. And in that browser, simply write Visual Understanding Environment. So you can see the very first link, the Visual Understanding Environment. It is from the Tufts University. The Tufts University has developed this software. So the link says vue.tufts.edu. Click on this. You will come to the home page of View, and you can see the download option. And if you want to download this software, setup of this software, it will ask you whether you want to download in Mac version, Windows version, or the Linux version. So click on the download option. Yes, here the options are given, and I'm using the Windows version, so I will go for the download View for Windows. You can see on the download this downward arrow. It is showing the progress of downloading the setup. You can see the installer has been downloaded. Just click on the installer. Again, you will see two files. It is a Mac OS and the View installer. So you have to click on the View installer. Click on it, please, and click on the extract all, or yeah, extract all option. Again, you will see a dialog box, and under that dialog box you will find two buttons, that is extract and cancel. I hope you are going with me. I request you all to download this software if you want to.
Everyone, there is a big black block on your screen. If you can reshare your screen.
Oh, okay ma'am, okay. It is visible, the window is visible, ma'am? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, yeah, so click on the extract button. Screen. Hmm. Yeah, so we clicked on the view installer, and the very next window is of this. It is asking for the destination location. Click on the next button.
Again, there are flag blocks on the screen.
Okay. So it is a very simple process of downloading any software. So there is nothing, any new step. I'm just saying it to the participants. I request all the participants to download this software quickly. It is hardly a matter of 2 minutes. Thank you, Nidhi ma'am, for confirming. Yes. After this software gets downloaded, after this the setup gets downloaded on in your systems, you will get a blank screen on which you can create your concept map. So please first confirm me whether you have downloaded it or not in the chat box. I hope you can see my screen. Yes, please download this software. It is free to use and also very easily you can draw your concept map. Okay, please download. I'm just seeing your messages. Many of you have downloaded it. PPT to I'm not sharing any PPTs. I have just shared the screen of view. Okay. So as you can see, it is a empty map area where you can draw your concept map, or you can see there is a menu. This is the menu as normally we have in other applications also. There is a file menu. There is an edit menu, there is a view menu, there is format menu, content menu, pathways, analysis, windows menu, and help menu. And under this menu, you will find a tool menu. And under in this tool menu, you will find a selection tool, you will find the node tool, you will find the link tool, you will find the rapid prototyping tool, you will find the text tool, you will find the zoom tool, you will find the move canvas tool, and you will find the playback slide tool also. So if you want to create a mind map, firstly, as we have discussed, that all the concept maps or the mind maps should have a central idea, and we are creating here the concept map. So for the creating the concept map, and to write the main idea, we have to select the node tool. For selecting the node tools, you simply have to bring your cursor on the toolbar and click on the node tool. And as I clicked on this node tool, you have observed that my cursor turned out into a plus sign. Just bring your cursor to the empty map area, and with the help of your keyboard, just drag it on your empty map area, and you can see a node has been created. And under this node, you can write the text or the topic of the main idea. For example, I am creating a concept map of on environment, then write it the environment here. Or I can take the topic of pollution. because we are living in a polluted city. So this is the central idea, and I further want to break this central idea into the sub idea, and for that I again want a node tool. Then there is one more node I want. I create another sub node. So just see what I am trying to create. So you have seen that I've created some nodes here on the blank area, and I'm just making a connection between these nodes. And to make the connection, I need a line tool or the linking tool. To draw the link tool, again, I have to bring my cursor to the link tool, click on that, and just bring your cursor to the map area. So I want to connect this main node to node that is of pollution to the sub nodes. So I have to bring my cursor here and drag the cursor. Now you can see it is not working properly because I have not placed my cursor appropriately on the map area. Now you can see the line is expanding. And as I draw this connection between the main idea and the sub idea, you can see a connecting word, a space for the connecting word has been created. So I will write here because you can get an idea what I am drawing. It is about the pollution and the types of pollution. So I am writing here types as the connecting word. Again, I will draw a line here because it is also another type of pollution. You can draw it in a more beautiful manner. I am only giving you a demonstration. So I am just going to explain you how these tools or the options given in the toolbar works. So you can just use your creativity and you can use your you can develop your creative concept map. So you can see I have just drawn the pollution node here, and I'm trying to explain the type of pollution. Now, if I want to explain what are the causes of pollution, then I again have to draw another connecting line, or I can draw a node here. Just choose the linking tool, bring it to the main node, and drag it to the another subconcept, which is causes of pollution. So again, you can see this connecting word, the space for the connecting word appears. And if you don't want to add any connecting word, you can simply click on it anywhere on the this map area, and it will disappear. So there is not every time there is need to add a connecting word. So this is the you can see how we can add the nodes and subnodes. Now you can see that all the nodes are of same color and we are not getting any idea which is the main node and which are the subnodes. So you can also change the look of your mind map with the help of colors. You can change the colors of the nodes or the these lines given which you have drawn on your concept map. So simply you have to, because you see my cursor is again in the form of this plus symbol, and I have to bring it in the normal mode. So I have to go back to the cursor and click on it and see my cursor has become in a normal mode. And I just click on the window option, and under window option, you will find the formatting palette. With the help of this formatting palette, you can format the concept map which you have just drawn. So you can choose the color of the main node. You can change the color of the main node with the help of this drawing palette. So already this mustard color has been given there, and I want to change the color of this main node. Then I have to say, I just select the color of my choice. Now you can see the main node color has been changed. And similarly, you can change the color of other nodes also. Here you can see in this palette, there is an option of changing shapes. These shapes are used for changing the shape of nodes. So you can change the shape of nodes. You can change the shape of lines as well. You can draw the curved lines. Also, you can change the color of lines. I'll just show you how you can change it. For example, I'm just taking this green color. You can see the color of the line has been changed. And also you can change the stroke style of the lines. You can change the start and end style of these connecting lines. So there are many options of formatting with the help of which you can make your concept map more beautiful and more attractive. So this is just for demo purpose, but I request you all to develop a small concept map of the topic which you teach, or of the subject which you teach in your classroom, and share with us. So this is all about view. And yes, there is one more interesting tool here. This is rapid prototyping. If you use this tool, you can find the nodes and the subnodes and the arrow line in the collective manner. There is no need of drawing separately the lines and the nodes. So this is the function of rapid prototyping. This is the text tool with it, and with the help of text tool, you can add text and write the text. So let's take some queries, ma'am. I'm just stop sharing my screen. Right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for this session. If participants have any query, they can ask, or either they can paste, type their queries in the chat box. We'll forward to the resource person.
There are some.
Yes, they want to know how to share it with the student after making, how to share it with. That is general query.
Yes, sir. This I want to share it with you how you can save the file. So we just left that. Yeah, again, the saving the file is very simple, as you save in usual manner any creation of yours. So just click on the file option, click on save. Simply you can save this file, or if you want to rename it, then you can click on save as option. And you can see the by default option is the by default extension is VUE, because you are creating this map in the view environment. And but if you want to save it in the PDF form, you can say you can have the PDF format also. You can save it is in HTML format also. You can save it in picture form also, or the RDF, or the other format are also available there. So it depends on you what how you are going to use this concept map further. And in the same format you want, you can share, you can save your file. So I hope I have given the answer to you.
Yes, ma'am. I think participants, most of them, they were curious to know after doing a lot of work how to save the file, because it was really wonderful and engaging session. So any other query, participant? Yes, Pankaj sir, you can unmute.
Uh,
Yes,
Really,
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, ये जो अभी what you have told about the steps for the color of the line, please repeat it. I just overlooked it while making the thing. Thank you.
sorry, sir. Yes, there are other queries also in which participants are asking that how they can add the images to the concept maps. So, Vue has that liberty of adding images, of adding links, and adding other content also, which is mentioned there in the settings to your concept map. It is not only to create a simple concept map, but you can add additional content to your concept map also. I'm going to show you how you can add the content and how you can change the color of also the nodes. So the first thing is I will show you how you can change the color. This is our the basic concept map, and if you want to change the color of this node, just click on this node and it will get selected. After getting the selection done, go on to the Windows menu, and under Windows menu you will find the formatting palette. Click on the formatting palette and you will find the color option here. You can choose the color of your choice. Like I have changed the color of this particular node. I can change the text of the color also. The color of the text also, sorry. I can change the, yes, just click on the text and select the color. And yes, I have selected red color, so you can see the text has been changed into red color. Similarly, in the same manner, you can change the color of the lines as well. But firstly, you have to select the particular node or particular line. Just go to the line option and select the color of your choice, and you can see the color has been changed. And how you can add additional content to the nodes, you just simply go to the node, click on the just right click on it, and you will find a menu here. It is showing you that you can add nodes to your node, you can add keywords, you can generate keywords, you can add URLs, you can add image files, you can even add Flickr image. And if you want to remove the particular resource, then you can remove the resource as well. So there are the options also of adding additional content into your concept map in the form of nodes, keywords, URL, image file. I'll show you one example. For example, you are going to add a URL. Just click on add URL, and I'm going to add here the Diksha website, diksha.gov.in. Or if you want to share the website, any website with your students, you can add the URL of that particular website here. So you can see a small link appears here, and whenever you click on this link, because it is a link of a website, it will take you to the particular website. Maybe I have not written it in a correct manner, that is why it is not going to the website, but it is suggested to you that you should copy the correct link of the particular website and then paste it here. Yes, sir. Any other query?
Okay, I think You have wonderfully explained all the problems and challenges they are facing, ma'am. Thank you so much for such an insightful and engaging session, I can say. And I was thoroughly enjoyed myself because I was watching that participants were actively engaged and they even continuously responding to your questions during the session. So thank you so much because that session, especially the examples, practical examples that you took and the